I'll tell you, that was, Christmas was someday.
Yeah, it's a great day. I'm so excited about the day. I'm just keeping on my Christmas outfit all day.
Yeah, I got my Christmas shirt on, but I don't know what's going on in this house or this room. Christmas ain't the day. Christmas was Monday. Today is Wednesday. Must be some kind of sleeping time capsule in this room.
I think so. I think
just like when you say you went to Africa, I've been in this bed now over a month.
Well, at least you can say you got plenty of rest.
Yeah.
You feel well rested?
I feel well rested. I feel
good. Good. Because you know, because Christmas brings about the end of a year, but the beginning of a new one.
Guy on my job gave me a Santa Claus shirt.
Nice shirt. Elmo did it. That was a nice. Was that like a grab bag gift or?
Just gave it to me.
Okay. Tis the season to be jolly. Ho ho ho.
Yeah.
Right to Santa Claus. You know, there was a song, Santa Claus goes straight to the. Remember that song?
I remember that song. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking on Facebook. I saw so many different people posting with their families or with their friends. You know, a lot of people on Christmas Day, they had their traditions and their rituals that they do every year, go to the movies. You know, some people just like to spend, you know, time alone, sit in front of the fireplace, and just enjoy the day.
Yeah, well, I had a good time. We went downtown to under Penn Station where they were giving out food on Christmas Day. I think that was one of the best Christmas I've had. I told the people down there, I interviewed that. That it was nice that they were giving out food Christmas Day. Food, clothing, clothes and everything.
Well, Elmo, that was great that you went and did that.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, yeah, I wasn't able to go do that this year. Maybe next year. So I guess it wasn't a time warp after all. You actually did get out of the bed.
Yeah, I got out of the bed, went right back to the bed now.
Watching.
Got out. Today is the 27th and getting ready for the new year. 2024.
Yep. It's time to soar in 2024. That's my slogan for 2024. Time to soar in 2024.
What do you say?
Yep, that's my slogan for 2024.
What?
Time to soar in 2024.
Like saw wood or?
To soar, like fly high.
Oh.
To soar high as an eagle. To soar, to take off, to be in the stratosphere, just making dreams come true and enjoying life.
Yeah. Well, they'll be voting for the next president next year too.
Yeah, it's going to be, oh, yes, right. It's going to be a big year. It's going to be lots of stuff happening. And it looks like the weather is going to, bring in some warmer temperatures in some of the colder places.
What about in New Jersey?
Yeah, it's a little bit warmer. And this way people can get out and do more, maybe knock on doors, go out and campaign for their elections. Not just the national election, but there's local stuff for people to get out and meet people and network. So it should be an exciting year. I'm looking forward to 2024, ready to soar in 2024.
That's a
What
good
about you, Elmo?
slogan.
Yeah, that's I think a slogan every year, and we try to make it rhyme with the end of the year, with whatever
Well, I think that I'm gonna eat more chicken.
Yes, got to get that chicken. Yeah. You know, chicken is good for you, and it's, you know, it's still affordable. Easy to prepare. There's so many things. You can bake it, grill it, fry it, broil it, boil it. It's like so, microwave it, air fry it. So many things to do with it. And it just seems, chicken just seems to go with everything. Those chickens, Lord, but they're sad. We humans decide to eat them because we eat a lot of chickens.
Yeah, we do.
Go put it with some rice and have a little
I eat a lot of rice.
food.
I know you eat a lot of rice.
A lot of rice. Rice and chicken go together, especially like if you're from the South, right? So down south, that's what they eat, a lot of chicken and rice and biscuits. Are you from down south originally?
My family is from down south.
Okay.
They've been up here 100 years. So
Yes.
I imagine some
They brought
things,
it with them, probably.
you know, will always, you know, be like a southern type thing. You know, you know, they didn't exactly drop their whole culture, but they, you know, being on north of 100 years, you're going to learn some different things, you know.
Yep. So how do you like my dress? You like my Christmas dress? It's got bells on it and everything. You hear those bells?
Wow.
Yep, it's got bells.
So when you go outside, you got the bells be ringing like Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Yeah, the kids, they come running thinking that Santa's about to bring them some toys.
How do you clean the dress like that? The bells come off?
No.
So how do you clean it?
Well, that's the big mystery. Listen, you have to, you have to stay tuned for next year probably to find out how to get clean it. But the thing is, probably doesn't get clean. You just because you're not wearing it that long. You just wear it on Christmas Day or pass out a couple of presents and then you take it off.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like, you know, things gonna get them moving soon. I guess around April. It's gonna be a different April election year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, by June this thing gonna be heated up.
Woo! It's gonna be a fast moving train. You gotta keep up. Got to keep up and make sure that you are staying up to date on the issues and what's happening, what's on the ballot, what some of the new laws that they're proposing, or some old laws that never got passed, maybe brought back up by certain Congress people, and so we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see. It's really interesting.
Yep. I don't know. Feel good being in this bed for over a month.
Yeah, good. Nothing like getting a real good rest, especially toward the end of the year. You worked hard all year, and you made it through probably all kinds of ups and downs, and it's like this is that time to just kind of woosah, just kind of take that deep breath and just breathe in and breathe out, and breathe in and breathe out. Just get ready for what lies ahead. A lot of times, we go through hard stuff and think that, wow, this is so hard, and only to find out months later that that hard thing was a preparation for something even harder. So it's like you have to take it all in stride.
None of us know our destiny,
Yeah.
None of us know,
No.
Say one thing and do 10 other things. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what it is. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me either. I don't know either. Yeah.
Just trying to figure things out, that's all.
Yeah.
Oh, Could use me a nice good cup of coffee, I know that.
Oh yeah, a nice cup of something hot would be good right about now. I'm
This
not a
has
coffee
been
drinker.
an interesting year, you know. I went down in August with Al Sharpton and them down to the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington.
Oh wow, I bet that was awesome.
Yeah, was able
I
to
bet that was
ride
nice.
on the bus.
Yeah. Wow, get on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a nice trip to do that Washington trip, especially with a bunch of people, you know, that you're on the bus with people you know. And y'all had that fried chicken?
Yeah, they didn't. I
They
brought
had no
some.
food?
I brought my own.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't share with nobody, but I brought my own chicken and hot sauce. I had it in the bag. Most of them had like a little, you know. And people don't really cook like they used to, so they had that little
Uh-huh.
continental type breakfast,
Okay.
you know, that junk. I didn't have none of it though.
Okay.
You know,
Now I know we did that bus trip, yeah, like that. The church when they had when Obama his inauguration, it was freezing cold.
yeah, I was down there. Y'all took the
Yeah,
church
we
took
took
a trip.
our church took a bus. Woo-wee, it
It
was
was
cold.
freezing. Yes, I never know I should get that cold.
Woo-hoo.
Because I had two Russian hats. I had a designer Russian hat, right? The problem with that hat was it had a leather top on it.
Oh, I
And
bet that top got cold.
When I walked from the car to the train station,
Whoa.
my head felt like an ice thing.
Oh, God. Y'all took the train there?
No.
Oh.
What happened was I drove down to Virginia that night, the night before. Then that morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, I got in my car and drove back up to Washington.
Oh.
So I parked at like I think New Carrollton,
Mm-hmm.
and then took the metro train into the city.
Ah, okay.
You
Okay.
can't park right there in the city.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
And it was so cold.
It was so
I had to go back and get my old Russian hat.
freezing.
Yes.
I mean, I remember how cold it was because it was so cold that I didn't get out the car. I stayed in. I didn't go. I didn't walk over with them. I stayed right there.
In a car?
We went,
I thought you were on the bus.
no, the bus went to the church because the person had a church down there.
Oh.
The pastor that hosted us.
Mm-hmm.
He had a church there, and so I stayed at the church. I let them go to to stand out. It was so cold. I couldn't do it.
It was
too
free. And
cold.
the problem with that was
It was freezing cold.
that they didn't have bathrooms outside either.
Oh.
That was one of the problems. And good thing it was a YMCA. They all let people go in line and use the bathroom, which was a shame.
See, it was so cold. I just couldn't even see. I wanted to be there, you know, for that historic moment, but I couldn't do that cold. And
It wouldn't, you know.
I wished I would have had.
I wish I didn't go,
but
tell you the truth. I went, but I wish I didn't go because I didn't get good coverage, and
it was too cold. Probably you would have
Yeah, it
froze
was
half to
cold,
death out
and,
there trying to video.
I know what happened was I was on Harvest Radio, and I called back to the radio and talked to the radio.
Oh, okay, you
Like
did it that way.
yeah.
Okay.
But it was
That's one way to
really,
do it.
it really wasn't worth it because I never got to see, you know,
Oh yeah.
whatever.
There were people everywhere.
Cause was a girl, was a woman there. She had a telephone on the channel that was covering it,
Uh-huh.
and she was relaying the messages to us about, you know, whatever, you know. So I never really got it. Was just a hysteria thing, but I didn't get a chance to really see it. I would never do that again. It was like
It was too freezing.
It was like 30 below
It was
zero.
horrible. I'll never forget that. I mean, this year it probably wouldn't be that bad. Like, say, if it was this year, I know it's not.
No.
But I'm saying, if it was just January.
Now, well, I'll tell you, when I
this
went
weather
back,
don't seem so
I
bad.
went back 8 years later to Donald Trump's inauguration,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't that cold.
Wasn't, yeah, the
It
weather.
wasn't that cold. In fact, it wasn't cold at all. It was, you know,
Mhm.
it was, you know, mild and stuff like that.
Because you figured for it to be as cold as it was, and I do remember, is that the one where Michelle was walking in that coat? Yeah, well, they had the car.
I think
right
that
there.
was the second one.
Oh, that was the second one she had on that green coat and stuff. I don't remember, but I know they had to walk it though. That's part of the job.
Yeah.
At first.
I remember the first walk I witnessed, as a
Mhm.
young man, I guess in
Which one was that?
1977 when Jimmy Carter became president.
Mm.
Jimmy Carter became president, and it was Jimmy Carter, Amy, and the wife. They're walking down Pennsylvania Avenue.
Oh yeah? Oh, I bet that was cool.
And Amy took so much of the Carter thing that I didn't even know Jimmy Carter had any other kids. I thought Amy was the only one.
Okay.
In fact, I just recently found out.
There were other kids?
Yeah, I didn't know it was some boys. I thought it was just Amy.
She was the one with the big presents, huh?
Yeah, because she's a little girl and, they walk down Pennsylvania Avenue with President Carter holding one hand and
the mother holding
the other holding the other. Mommy, my sister, my little sister, my mother used to hold her hand,
Oh, yeah. And just Miss Carter just passed away.
Yeah, she just
not too long ago.
Yeah,
life goes around once. Got to make it a good one.
Yeah, so.
One time, that's it. All you get is one shot. One shot.
That's all you get, one shot.
Goes around. Got to make a good one. Yep.
So for New Year, what is your, what do you call it, resolution? You ever had a New Year's resolution that you kept?
Well, once I decided to change it from a New Year's resolution to a goal. So about 10 years ago, we kind of stopped doing resolutions because it was just that. You would make the resolution and, weeks go by and you're back to doing the thing that you said, you wouldn't do anymore. So kind of stopped making the resolutions because it's like if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But to make a goal and then we use the SMART goal system with it. And so therefore we have a lot more confidence that the goal will come to pass, or we'll stick with it rather. Because the whole thing is, why make a resolution that you're really not going to, be able to live it out or stick to it, whether it's losing weight, give up cigarettes or give up drinking or give up lying, cheating, whatever, people like to give up. What about you? You make any resolutions ever?
I guess I make them every year.
Oh, you do? You make them,
I look forward to breaking them too, so.
Okay. I know they're easy to break, so we just had stopped that and just was doing, like I said, to kind of make a goal, set a goal. But certainly acknowledging and embracing, this concept of renew, this whole thing of a new year, a new opportunity, another opportunity, and putting those things that are behind and being able to press toward the mark of the high call in Christ. That's
Getting back to what we were saying before about the ring and stuff, as I still believe that we need to change our value system. I heard on the TV the other day about Taraji P. Henson, is that her name?
Okay, Taraji, Taraji P. Henderson, I think it's Henderson. Okay, Henderson, yes. Okay.
Everybody knew it. I remember her from the
Just
movie,
say Taraji.
the movie Baby Boy from years ago.
Baby Boy. Is that?
And
Baby, okay.
Baby Boy. And
oh, right. She was the girl. She was the girl that, okay, yes. I know she played in another one with Terrence Howard when he was like a pimp or something.
oh, that
He was like a
was
DJ or something. What was the name of that movie? That was a crazy
oh
movie.
man, that was
That was a crazy movie too.
In fact, Terrence said he didn't get paid enough for that movie.
Really?
He's suing whoever.
Oh,
put
really?
Out.
Oh, okay.
Had that song out.
Okay. I don't remember
That pimp song. And just to hear, she was crying, talking to Oprah girlfriend Gail, I believe, in the interview.
Mm-hmm.
That was her old girlfriend, Gail,
Mm-hmm.
and talking about she didn't get paid enough, and it ain't just her. She has her own staff, which most of those actors do because they be producing and doing a whole lot of other things. And I hear people talk that, and of course, I feel sorry for her, and I hope she don't stop acting, but at the same time, you got to remember from whence we all came, and what I don't understand about the Black American, and I'm going to say it just like that,
Mm-hmm.
By now, you should kind of know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't feel you being paid enough, right, then you got to compensate that some kind of way
Mm-hmm.
for your own psyche.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not getting paid what my counterpart is making
Mm-hmm.
in terms of color, right, let's just be frank.
Okay.
If I'm not getting paid what the white people getting paid, then I'm not going to spend my money like the white people spend their money either.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
one way to do it.
I think that, it's time for us to understand that, the game is a game because it seems like everywhere we go, there's something. If you go to the doctor, he may be against you. You try to buy a house somewhere, they don't want you, then they won't loan you the money.
Mm-hmm.
They had a credit union, I think it was a Navy credit union in Texas that would loan the people the money for the house. They wanted to have a house in that area, all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
So everything they got, it seemed like, maybe, how when you make a pie or a cake, you have ingredients.
Right.
Well, maybe we need to make a pie and call it the ingredients of life that comes with our life.
Okay.
And that don't mean because you wrote this recipe, right, that you can't be friends with people that have another recipe.
Right.
You can put your pie right next to it, but at least in your pie you know what you got in there. All right.
Right.
So it's time now that I think that we do the same thing, that we take a look at these things.
Yeah, Elmo, I think you're right. We should
change our value system.
Yep, you should change
okay?
it.
If you
flat out change it.
Just change it. Just say, hey, it's just time. Listen,
It's time to do it. It's a good time.
I've done.
You gonna lead the charge on that?
done. I can't. No, ain't no leading it. This ain't no lead, no charge. Each person got to do their own thing.
Well, okay, but
So,
I'm saying.
okay, like I say, all right, people talk, about engagement rings and wedding rings, right? Which is really frivolous. Those little things
Don't matter.
don't mean nothing.
Right.
How many people that's married and cheat
That's right.
turn that ring upside down? You understand? I mean, they ain't thinking about that ring.
That's true. That's a good point.
Or they can give you a good ring and be abusive.
That's right.
All right. So then maybe it's time for us to change our game.
That's right.
Change our value system on the world stage. So I don't need to go out there and buy that car for $200,000. If I'm not getting paid with the counterpart, I go buy me a car for $50,000. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, back in the day they used to call that live within your means.
Yes, but we got to take it to another level. In other words, what I'm saying is that if you feel that they're not going to pay you, okay, I remember I worked this job, they used to give us lunch.
Okay.
And I had to lunch one time. I said, I'm not going to have this lunch no more because this lunch here got diabetes written all over it. All that salt and all this. I said, this he ain't working for me. I can't do it.
Well,
I wanted to have lunch and had to drink 3 gallons of water before I got home. I had so much salt in myself. The next thing I brought my own lunch.
Right.
And I would freeze my lunch so I could keep it in my locker.
Okay.
So time I ate it would be thaw out by itself. I wouldn't put it in the refrigerator with anybody's.
Oh, okay. You didn't want them to take it?
Well, that, and I didn't want nobody to, tamper with it,
Okay, you try to put some salt in it?
You never know. People do things like that. I've never put my food in a community refrigerator at work. I don't do that. No. I've never did it.
I believe you, Elmo. I don't blame you
Because
too,
the reason why I don't, because you never know what time it is.
You never know, and you never know how people are thinking and their mindsets.
So I may eat your lunch with cyanide or whatever,
you know. You never know. No, you never know. No, it's better to be safe than sorry.
So I never do that right there, you
right.
know. So what I'm saying is maybe it's time for us to change our value system. You know, we have the value system, let's just say, okay.
Well, that's a good thing for 2024.
Yeah,
for your resolution.
Change the value system.
There you go.
Like, no, we have a value system like Pharaoh, if you will. Moses was adopted by Pharaoh's daughter. So he was raised like the Egyptians. Mm-hmm. Okay? But he recognized somewhere down the line that he was an Egyptian.
Right.
So when he beat up the Egyptian, or killed the Egyptian for beating the Hebrew brother up, and the Hebrew brothers told on him, he had to get to moving.
Yeah, right.
But then he still
carried
he carried the essence of Egyptian, because when he was helping those young ladies,
they knew who
water
he was,
the thing, and they wouldn't tell their father that's why
helped him,
that got finished so soon.
Mm-hmm.
And they said an Egyptian helped us.
Right.
They didn't say a Hebrew helped us.
Yeah.
So apparently there was something about him that said Egyptian. It probably was his clothing.
Okay.
You understand? It was probably his clothing said that.
So that's his value system.
No, that's not his value system. That was the clothing that he had from Egypt. Because he was raised an Egyptian, so he wouldn't have the poor clothes that the Hebrews would have.
Okay.
You see what I mean? He had Egyptian clothing on. Okay, because the girl said that an Egyptian helped us.
Right.
Now, it didn't say in the scripture that he introduced himself as an Egyptian.
Right.
It said that those girls told their father, or the women told their father, that an Egyptian helped us. That's why we finished so soon. Mm-hmm. So then they said, well, why? The father said, well, why didn't you invite him home? Go find him. And they went and got him. Mm-hmm. But when they went to get him, they went to get him as an Egyptian, not as a Hebrew. Mm-hmm. It was when he introduced himself to Jethro, I think his name, and their father, that he found out that he is an Egyptian, that he was a Hebrew. Mm-hmm. See? So, you know.
So what's your point there for it?
My point is that we have problems of a Hebrew, right? Mm-hmm. In Egypt. But we so long to be adopted as an Egyptian that we negate our Hebrew side only when we get beat down at trying to be an Egyptian. So maybe we need to stop trying to be an Egyptian and recognize that our true self is a Hebrew.
Okay.
Because whenever we get in trouble, we have a Hebrew cry.
We know how
when
to
these
cry.
Black actors are crying on the world stage, right?
Yes.
They're not crying as an Egyptian. Then they go all into their DNA and all the beginning of how their people have been treated. So maybe what you need to do, right, is identify yourself as a Hebrew from the start.
Yes.
In New Jersey, we had a saying, the Black Americans had a saying, right? Whether you're in a fight, sometimes like a fight, or you're doing something, say you're going for broke. Meaning that you're just putting it all out there. Or I remember doing a job on Stuyvesant Avenue in Irvington, a concrete job, and I digged up the sidewalk, broke the sidewalk up. But instead of taking the rocks and having a dumpster come and get the rocks, or whatever, what I did was I dug a deeper hole and buried the rocks, buried the old rocks along the same trail that the new concrete was going to be poured on.
Okay.
And an older man walked up to me and said, you working, you doing old school. You know, 'cause new school, they take the, you know, and discard the stuff. So what I did was I put it, lined it up, and then poured the concrete on top of that. You see what I mean? With new school, they don't do that. They just take the rocks up, you know, beat the old sidewalk and have it hauled away. But what I did was I beat the sidewalk up, broke it up in half, the old sidewalk, and then dug down, let's say, 3 feet, you know, or 2.5 feet, around 2 feet, and then buried the old rocks and then threw the concrete on top of that. You see what I mean? So if they ever broke that thing up, they're going to have to take the new sidewalk I pour, and then there's an old sidewalk under there. You see what I mean? So,
I don't get the point, but yes.
Well,
I'm hearing
I don't know why you
because,
don't.
I mean, what, because, so.
Well, whatever it may be. But like I said, is that, you know, maybe we need to just identify.
Don't hide our true identity.
See, if you identify of who you are, no matter where you go, you know who you are. Now, I got friends of all walks of life.
Okay.
But I identify as a Hebrew.
Okay.
So no matter where I'm at, you know, I can shake hands with anybody. I ain't gonna say the best, but with anybody. But I remember who I am, so I don't get discombobulated along that road. Too many of us get discombobulated. Only time we call out, you know, kind of like Sweet Polly. If you look at Underdog, Sweet Underdog.
When she got in trouble.
Right, she never hung out with Underdog, because Underdog was a shoe shiner.
Right.
He shined shoes.
Right.
But Underdog by herself, but only when Sweet Polly got in trouble that she called out, "Here, Underdog, Underdog." So Underdog would run.
Is on his way.
Underdog would run to a telephone booth and blow it up, and then turn into Underdog. And then he'd come there. He said, "Here's no fear. Underdog is here." And Underdog come flying in and saved Sweet Polly. And that was his happiness as he saved Sweet Polly to happiness. But I'm sure that there had to be a time when Underdog just needed, that want to be Underdog and just hold Sweet Polly. You know, just in private life, you know, come on home and, you know, fix him a meal, give him a hug. But the only time he got to hug her when she was in trouble.
Poor Underdog.
He was just a regular little Underdog shining shoes.
Poor guy.
Shoe shiner. You know, that's how that is, you know. So we got to look at these things today, you know, who are you? And because of this right here, that we don't recognize that we're Hebrew, right? That we move, quote unquote, under, you know, with the Egyptian, and that's moving up.
Okay.
Everything Egyptian is up and everything Hebrew is down with us. So then we will raise our kids under the philosophy of Egyptian. So then when they are challenged with things, right, then we gotta, you know, what they call it, re-immerse them into that, hey, you know, we are Hebrew and we've always come through things like that. I tried to shelter you from this, that, and the other. In the meantime, you got a confused individual. And maybe that's one reason why middle class young people, Hebrew people, in so many words, are not making that full circle. Because we're not telling them the truth of what time it is. I can't be among somebody and take on their personality.
Right.
I can hang out with them for a minute, whatever, this, that, and the other.
Right.
But I can't take on their personality. See?
That's a good point.
You know, and that's what happens to us. And that's why we're losing our kids, right? Because a lot of our kids that was raised, quote unquote, Egyptian, right?
Yes.
That and so they, you know, and they're not elevating. You know, they starting to get in trouble and all kinds of things. You know, because we're not explaining things to them. and then we have a mess on our hands.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose Moses. Now let's look at Moses. Let's look at the Bible, because you know that Reverend in Texas say, "This is my Bible."
Yeah, this is my
Who
Bible.
is that? Joe.
I believe
Joe
what it
Osteen.
says.
Yeah.
I can do. I can.
And he true is true what he said.
Mm-hmm.
In that Bible, if you know,
Mm-hmm.
examine that book and you look at it, you can overcome a whole lot of things just from that book
Mm-hmm.
alone. You don't have to grab no other books.
True that. No, that's right. No,
If
it
you
is
really
the
look
book.
at right,
No,
look
you're
right there.
The answers
So
are right there.
let's
You're
look
right.
at let's dissect apart. Let's go to Deuteronomy. I believe it is.
Okay.
That's the next
Which
chapter
one?
after Genesis, isn't it? Deuteronomy.
Exodus is.
Exodus. I'm sorry. Exodus. Thank you. Exodus. Now, when we go to Exodus and we look at, I'm not going to call the numbers, nothing like that, but you know the story. We look at Moses.
I'll look it up.
Moses
Mm-hmm.
did not ever have to say I was a Hebrew,
Right.
because he was raised in the Egyptian household as Pharaoh's daughter's son.
Right.
So he was a grandson of Pharaoh.
Right.
Okay? Now he could have taken that wave and went on with it. Right? But somewhere down in that book, it doesn't say, because it don't talk specifically of, and maybe there's another book that do. I don't know. Maybe the Jews have another book about that, because Moses is really a big icon with them. You know, a big prophet with them. You know, more so than with the regular Christian. Now, no, he's a big Christian prophet with us, but we go on to Jesus.
Of course.
So we salute
them.
Moses, right, and this, that, and other, but we go on to Jesus.
That's right.
Their
stay
religion,
on
they
the Old
stay right
Testament.
there with
Yes.
Moses.
Okay. Right.
Okay?
Mhm.
So maybe there's a book about his whole lifestyle. I don't know.
Okay.
But at some point in that book,
Mm-hmm.
he learned that he was a Hebrew.
Right.
Now, I don't know where in Pharaoh household he found that out. Maybe somebody said to you, hey, raise him, you know, you're Hebrew. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe his mother said, you know, you ain't nothing but a Hebrew anyway. I put you out the river. I don't know. Maybe Pharaoh, the king, said, you ain't really my grandson, damn it. You a Hebrew. I don't know. But whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
right, whatever it was, when he left Pharaoh household,
Yes.
right, he wasn't broke,
Right.
okay, because he didn't leave there with the clothes of the Hebrew. He left there with the clothes and stuff
Of the Egyptian.
The
yes.
Egyptian.
Okay.
Okay, I give you a better
That's
example.
No, that's a good
And
example.
I'm going to give you another example.
But
When one of the founding fathers, what's his name? Oh, man. Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, slaves would run away sometime. And what Jefferson stayed on was they would take their tools. Now, whatever tool they had, they would take it. And whatever tool of that day was a going tool.
Right.
And Jefferson wanted them damn tools back. You know what I mean? Because at that time, right, the country wasn't so overpopulated with mechanical things like they are today. So if you had a tool, you may be the only one in New Jersey that got that tool. Whether it was a brick making tool, whatever the hell it was. But I remember reading his book, and I'm going to take another read of it.
Okay.
Maybe next year or year after next. As I'm reading my books and getting rid of them, going more into electronic dictionary, electronic library. He wanted those books. He wanted his tools. You know, that's what he wanted. And they would catch a slave, but he wanted his tools because that tool was valuable. Whatever tool it was very, very valuable. Because one thing about Thomas Jefferson, when Thomas Jefferson would go around the world, he would take a tree from each country, wherever he was at, and put them trees on his ship to bring back here to transplant. That's how we got a lot of different trees and stuff. You know, he would do that right there, because this was at the time a new country. But he wanted those tools. So what I'm saying, when Moses left Pharaoh's household,
Right.
he left with something.
Okay.
They didn't strip him down and take all his clothes from him and make him look like a Hebrew.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So, my question today is, maybe what we need to do is recognize who we are from jump. So when we go on a red carpet, hey, I'm a Hebrew. Maybe we get a little sign, could be a little sign say Hebrew. I don't know, a little whatever. Something that reminds us of who we are at all times. Because we're hearing the same thing over and over. See? So why don't we stop acting like we're Egyptian and own up to being Hebrew? Because if you are going down the road as a Hebrew, as an Egyptian, then when you have all these problems, then all of a sudden you pull up and dig up all your Hebrew roots. Okay? So we need to get this thing straight from the door. That I walk into this door, I am an Egyptian from the damn door.
Egyptian, I thought you said.
I am a Hebrew, sorry, from the door. So therefore, we don't have all these mistakes. See, you understand me,
Yeah.
we don't have all these mistakes.
Okay, it makes sense. Okay. So.
And then you ain't got to have all these cries because what time is it? Whoa. What are you paying me? We got this whole thing on the lockdown.
Right. Yeah, right.
Because too many times we're trying to B&E, which means B&E.
Breaking entry.
Breaking an entry into something
that we shouldn't have.
That we should.
That we don't have to.
Kind of like, if you remember that Hollow Nights, and when they broke it,
I don't.
that with Eddie Murphy movie.
I know the movie, but I don't remember.
And that movie, they had broke into a bank, and this cop followed them.
Right. Yeah.
And he said, I can't understand why you Negroes broke into this bank. And they started laughing and said, well, when you break in a bank, you either going to rob the bank or you making a deposit. So he kept laughing, what deposit? What? Y'all ain't got nothing. And he said, the deposit is you. We're going to lock you in this safe. And by tomorrow morning, we have somebody come let you out. But tonight, you're going to be in this safe. That's what we deposit. Right? And so he said, you ain't going to deposit me. I got a gun. And there were people with more guns. They overpowered him. So they deposited him in and they got away.
Oh my God.
So what I'm saying is that
that's crazy.
we, as Hebrew, need to understand who we are.
I think that's
because no matter where, it's almost like, okay, let's say you had a dog, some kind of dog in the house, right?
Right.
And a cute little dog
Well,
you have.
everybody know I would know.
Right,
Yes,
right.
no.
A cute little dog you got. But then, on certain times, when he don't get his way, he flares up and look like a monster. He, and all kinds of claws come out of his head. Oh my God, what kind of dog is this here? Get rid of this damn dog. Well, this is what's happening with us as Hebrew children. That we try to identify so much in being
something
Egyptian.
else that we not.
Right.
Yeah, so we should just.
And doing that line that we do that, we would even negate energy to each other because we want to be in that Hebrew, that Egyptian race. All right.
Okay.
But then when we get a problem uncontrollable to ourselves, then we become Hebrew. My people did that. Well, you never said that before. You understand? So maybe what we need to do, why don't we stop playing these games that we play? Right? And just identify with who the hell we are. See, you know what? When I came from Howard Street years ago, and I would go out and do things, right? I knew I was from Howard Street.
Okay.
I wore a psychological banner. Here I go on the way. I'm from Howard Street to save the day.
Right.
Right? I knew I was from 200 Howard Street, Newark.
Right.
I brought that with me.
Right.
You understand? If I went downtown or uptown and the boys uptown went to fight, I said, okay, I'm going for broke. I'm from Howard Street.
Oh, okay.
So I knew who I was because I carried that banner with me all along.
Okay.
Okay? So
All right,
now,
Elmo, that's a
what
good
the
story.
problem that we're having today is you got too many
problems.
people want to be mistaken, and only when they have problems do they say, "Oh, I'm Hebrew." Well, damn it, you should say it in the first place.
Okay.
If you say it in the first place, then you'll stay on track. So when you go spend your money, say, "Whoa, whoa, 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 I'm Hebrew." And since I'm Hebrew, I'm not gonna buy that car for $250,000 like you sold that Egyptian over there. Mm-hmm. If you want me to have that car, I give you $150,000. Or I can't do it. Well, then I can't have it by the car.
Right.
Then he may
Go
give
to
it.
another.
No, then he may give it to you for that price.
Right.
If you recognize who you are. All right. I'll give you another example. You got some kids, right? All right. Say, hey, young yummy, listen. Say, hey, young yummy hip hop dummy, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. All right. You good? Yeah. Well, you need to read 10 more books. Mm-hmm. They say, well, why would I do that? Because my friend. Yeah, your friend is not identified as a Hebrew. He's identified as an Egyptian. Okay? So you need to get 10 more. So your friend said, come outside. Why you always, your mother got you reading 10 more books? So I said, oh, because I'm Hebrew, that's why. I'm Hebrew. I got to read 10 more. Oh, well, I don't have to read. Okay, well, you go ahead and play and I'll catch up with you later. See, I got a Hebrew thing I got to do. But our problem is that we want to be recognized as Egyptian. Damn it, it just ain't going to happen. Show me where it's happening. Show me where it's going to happen at. It's not happening. And too many times at the end of the thing, end of the journey, we break down and cry like Taiji Henson and the rest of those black actors out there, whatever, crying that they ain't get this. You already know that. Okay? Let's say you're an engineer, all right? You're a Hebrew engineer, all right? You got Egyptian friends because most Egyptians, let's say, are engineers. So your Egyptian friends say, oh, come on with us. You know, we're going out, we're going to this thing. So, well, you know, Joe, listen, John, I'll catch up with you. I said, but I got to do this thing with the young kids, and me and my wife are going to be, you know, over here with the Hebrew kids, and we got to do this thing. Mm-hmm. So I won't go just, you know, bring us something back. Thank you. This, that, another, maybe another time. Or I go instead of 2 weeks, I want to stay 5 days because we got to go back and we got work to do. Then, you know, people will respect you more when you do that. Mm-hmm. But we take it as a slight. And I don't care how many slights that we take it as, you still identified as a Hebrew. Mm-hmm. Okay? So there's certain things that you just need to do that we don't really want to do. That's our problem. That's problem. It.
That's a big problem.
So, you know, okay. That's our problem.
Okay. Well, looks like you got it all solved for the world, for the black people.
Well, I don't want to say I have it all solved.
Well, I'm just saying you've identified it, and that's, you know, 90% of the solution is knowing what the problem is, right? Person can't even begin to try to solve it if they don't know what is going on. So that's good. You put it out there, people, here's the problem, and now people can look at it and, you know, move forward, do something, you know, do something about it. I mean, got to first identify.
Well,
and that's what you've done. You've done that well. You've identified the problem for people. If they don't get it, then it ain't for them to get. If they can't figure it out, like you said, it's plain English. You spoke plain English of what the problem is, and it's up to the people to receive that problem and move forward. Right?
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You said it. That's good. You know, you said it, and I believe that settles it. People can, you know, they can hear your words and they can, you know, march on. Be just like the 10 soldiers, the wooden soldiers, march of the wooden soldiers.
Okay, it's like this little girl had said this right here. I leave this because Christmas, and we ending this Christmas thing today. Mm-hmm. Okay, wish I had my speaker.
That's what she said?
Well, she sang a song.
Oh, she's singing a song. What? Oh, what? Mm-hmm.
That's one.
Well, you sing it. What song is it? Do you know the song? You can sing it.
I don't say.
What song? Okay, all right. What's the song?
No, we don't listen to this thing. It's acting up.
What's the name of the song?
I said we.
What? I know, but what song is it? It's a Christmas song.
Yes.
Well, you know, sometimes technology doesn't always work out just right.
Nope.
There's always a glitch.
Always
So
some kind of
we'll
glitch.
play it next time.
You know.
Another time, rather. Let's play another time.
So that's one thing I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything you want to say before we end this segment?
Yeah, just you know, hopefully people will, you know, do something different. Look at everything and see that, you know, what they need to do to achieve their goals, right? So their goals is to be successful or whatever. Do it.
Yeah. Well. All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of this bed and join the fight in the rest of the world. Again, I'm Elmo Cousin. Merry Christmas and have a happy and prosperous New Year.
Hi, and I'm Thelma Little. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Have a happy Christmas and Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.